Hi everyone, how are you going? I thought I'd come on today. I've been altering some dominoes, you know, the little plastic dominoes, and what I've done so far, I've just given them a rough sand with a little bit of sandpaper just to roughen up the surface, because these ones are plastic and they're quite smooth, and I'm planning on painting these ones. And I'm just going to give it a quick coat of gesso, and I've been wanting to do these for quite some time after I'd done my altered dominoes, you know, the keychain ones. But these ones here, I just thought I'd like to use some paint on it and see how it goes. So that's why I'm giving it a coat of the gesso first. So I'll let that dry now. And what else? I've got some scrap paper, not scrap paper, just some pattern paper here, and I've gone and cut two little strips off it just along here, and I've concertina I can't remember how to pronounce the word. I've done that concertina fold. Is it concertina? That just doesn't sound right. The length of the paper I'm using that I've cut is 10 inches, 10 3/10. Now see, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It's one of them days. It's 3 notches over 10 inches, and I've done the folds at 7/10. So that's 7 notches before 1 inch. And I have just gone along and folded the first one down, and then folded it, and then done a fold back on top of itself. So you get that little concertina little thing. So using some papers, and I'm also going to use some ripped strips of fabric, and I've got these, I've had these ripped up for a while, so I'm going to use those. And of course you'll need some glue, some paint, whatever colour paint you want. And I'm going to do a couple. I'm going to do a a pink, and also a green, just so that it matches in with the pattern paper that I've done the folds on. Alright, so these ones here, they should be dry enough for me to put some paint on. So I've just cut out a strip of paper, and that is, the length is 10 inches plus 3. So I'm thinking that you pronounce it 10 3/10, because there's 10 notches in an inch. And the height of this one is 6, which really should be 1 and 7, I think. No, that's right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 6. 1 6/10. I don't know, however you pronounce it. And I just go along and 5, 6, 7. Every 7 little notches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just put a little mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Missed one. That's right. Okay, so I've just gone along and put, I don't know if you can see the little dots. Yeah, you can. And then where I see this one here, I'm just going to fold, just keeping the edges pretty straight so it's all lined up. Fold it back this way so you can still see the little pencil mark. And then I fold it back down that way onto the second pencil mark, and then I fold that one back that way. I'm pretty sure you all know how to do this fold. If I could just think of what it was properly called. I think it's a concertina, I don't know. And then you just keep folding that and making sure that the edges down here are staying straight. And the paint that you see on my hand is dry because I've just been putting gesso on the dominoes. And you just keep folding that right into the end of your paper. And fold the last one back. So there you have your little fold. And I'll just give that a good press down. So there's the little fold that you need. And you can go along and rub the pencil dots out if you want. Right, so then with that, I'm going to just put a bit of this vintage sepia ink just around the edges, so I smear it all over it. Okay, and then I also want to just go down the fold edges and put some of this on there as well, some of the ink, and I'll do it on the other side as well. Okay, so I've got that on there, and this is going to be inside the two dominoes, so that's what it looks like. I'm not sure if you can see the ink on it, but yeah, it's on there. Okay, so I've got that done, and now I'm going to just put some paint on the dominoes. The gesso is pretty dry. I'm going to do a pink one first. And go around the edges. I'm giving it a rather streaky paint, that's what I want to do. And you can still see a little bit of the background because I didn't really sand it down that much. I only put enough on there to cover, just to put a bit of a cover on the domino so the paint had something to grip to. Okay. And this one I'm going to use some green. Just thinking I'm using these colours, but I've only got that dark material left. I don't think I've got any colours that really match this, so it's okay. I'll still use it. I'm going to have this greeny colour. You don't really, you could, if you had those spray inks, you could use that on them as well, or you could just cover them in paper, in pattern paper. You can really decorate it however you want. Today I just decided to paint them. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they turn out how I want them to turn out. I don't go and use my heat gun, to dry them. I just let them dry naturally, because I have learnt from experience even just a little bit of heat on these plastic dominoes will warp it. The warping really does look nice if you like that effect on them, but I'm just going to let them dry naturally. Okay, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and my tiles are pretty dry. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a little bit of this napkin. This is the last piece that I have of this napkin. So I'm just going to put a little bit of napkin on. This is like the front and the back that I'm going to use of this tile. And just going to put some gel medium down there and lay that on there. Make sure it's down. And then I'm just going to rip it if it starts to rip for me. Yeah, there we go. I just want that raw edge around pardon me, around the side of it. So I'll just put a bit more gel medium over that. Just to seal it down really well. A bit too much. I'll put the excess on the other tile. So that's going to be the front of my little alt domino, and this is going to be the back, and I'm just going to do the same, the gel medium on the domino, the napkin on the domino. Don't know what I'm doing, do I? I know what I'm doing, but I just don't know what I'm saying. Okay, and then I'm going to rip that one around. I wanted it a bit closer than that, but that's okay. And then just make sure it's properly sealed by putting some more gel medium over it. Okay, that looks cool. I like that. So that's that one done. And I'm going to do the same with the pink ones. While I'm waiting for the front, the top, the dominoes, I keep calling them tiles. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I have just cut out a little cardboard template. So it's roughly, it's not exactly perfect, but it fits on one of the pardon me, one of the fold pages in this, and I'm just thinking I want to decorate like every second page or put something on there, so I just cut this little rough template and I went through some of my images, pictures that I've been hanging on to for a while, and I just want to just cut out just some images just to put on a few of the pages. And I have the template just to make sure that I'm not going to cut it too big. So I really like that man there. So I'm just going to line that up roughly and just cut around him. Right, so I've cut a little image out, and I might actually rub that out there. I've left the little pencil dots, so, and you can really notice it, so I'm just going to rub them out, which I should have done before, but yeah, I didn't get round to it. And I might just go around the edge on him, on his little picture. And I'm going, these end ones, they end up getting glued to the front, the first domino and the second domino, and I'm just trying to work out what side I actually want to be my front. So that's going to be my back, and that is actually going to be my front. Is that right? I think I'd prefer that as the front when you open it up, and you have that on the back side. So if that's the case, yeah, I just have to refold that. I should have thought about that first. So that part gets stuck to the domino at the back, and that part gets stuck to it at the front. So I'm just going to go over those a bit more. Okay, I'm right now. And I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. I'm going to leave the front one, miss one, and then put some kind of image on every second one as soon as I open up my glue. And it doesn't take long for this to get covered over with glue. Okay, it's clear now. And way too much glue. So one miss, one miss, one miss, one. I might put him there. You can decorate it however you want. Oops. And I thought with this one I'm going to go with, well, sort of a little vintage theme. And where's my template? And I really like that puppy dog there in that picture, so I'm going to cut him out. I think he's rather cute. Where's my spongy gone? There it is. And a little bit of glue. And let me see, one miss, one. Okay, and something else. Wonder if that'll fit on there. Yep. I'll cut this little bit out here on the corner. The pictures don't have to be all the same height. You can mix and match them however you feel you want to do it. So I've just cut this one a bit shorter. And let me think. I've still got some rub-ons here. And I think I might, if they work, I might put this watch on there. I'm not sure this is going to work, and if it doesn't I can always just get a picture. So we've got one, miss one, got one, miss one, got one. There. Oh. And I was thinking, I remember these rub-ons, they're very old, and if I put a bit of glue or gel medium down first and made it a bit tacky, it actually made the rub-on stick on it better. So I'm going to put that there and give it a rub. Where's my, under there, there it is. Okay, so hopefully that's going to stick down for me. Seems to be working. And there we go. Yay, cool. And I want one more image or something just there, so let me see. I'm going to just cut this little corner image out here of a stamp with a flower on it. And glue that down in there. Right, there we go. Okay, so this is how I've decorated the inside of it. Just with some vintage images. And just waiting for my dominoes to dry. And then I'll be back for the next step. I'm really not sure. This is a couple of days later and I'm really not sure where I got up to with my video, and I haven't gone and checked it yet. So my little tiles have been drying, and now with this one I'm going to just go around the edges of it just to put a bit more of this vintage sepia on the sides. I'm just pulling off those excess bits of tissue paper. So that one's done. And I'll just put a little bit around the edges of this one. And now that's the front, going to be the front, and that's going to be the back. So I turn them over and I'm going to use just a bit of this old material. I just want to make sure I've got the length even on it. And a bit of cotton, and all I'm going to do is just use a little bit of glue and put it in the middle of the tile and just centre the bit of material and press it down there. So I've got, that's what it looks like. It'll have that strip of material on it. And do the same for the back part. The back tile, the back domino. And just press that on there. And then with your paper that you have folded and decorated in any way you want, I've got the back plain so far, so on the very first little flap I'm just going to go right around the edges with the glue, and then I'm going to glue that on top of the little material tie I've just put down there. And then to attach it to the back domino, I'm going to put glue on the last little panel and do the same as the front and glue it onto there. Now when you do this, all you have to do is just make sure that you have matched up the front and the back, because you really don't want the dominoes that uneven. So that looks pretty good. I'll just hold it there for a minute and then you just let that dry. It's a little bit crooked. Oops, and just check the inside there. Whoop. For any glue seepage. Okay, so I'll just let that one dry up there, and I'll get the pink one and I just want to, if I can find, I was just going to just sand those edges just a little bit around. Yeah, I'm going to sand the pink ones instead of using the ink around them, just a little bit. My workspace on my table is getting smaller and smaller. Okie doke. Now I'm going to do the same for my pink tiles. Work out, I might use that one as my front domino, and that's the back one. And I've just decorated my strips there, but this time I've decided to use some ribbon. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the center of the dominoes, and I'm going to use some ribbon to tie it. So that's that one on. I might have cut this a bit too long, but that's okay. And there's that one. And it's just the same process as before. Put some glue on the front fold panel. And press that onto the first domino. Just making sure that it's straight. And then I'll check that side for any excess glue leakage, and then do the same to attach this to the back domino. And press that on there, and then just check to make sure that you've got the front and the back pretty much even. Just needs to push it up a little bit. And I'll just check the inside there. Okay, so we need to let that one dry too. Now, I've got one dry here, and it opens out like that. That's what I call the front, and that's what I call the back. And then you fold it up, and all you do is just tie these little material strips. So you've got the back one tied, little flip book, and I'll tie the front one. It doesn't have to be tied tight, it's just a loose tie. Now you can just decorate the front of it however you want. And on this one, I'm just thinking I might like to put that little key on there, and a little pearl heart, maybe a flower. No, just that. Okay, but before I decorate the front, I want to put a couple of little legs or just something on the bottom of it so it will stand and have just a nice little, I might put them on here. Bit too much glue, but that's okay. Okay, oh, so what I've put on the bottom, I have these really tiny little bead, they're like resin beads or something, and I just to jazz this altered domino up a little bit, really got too much glue on there, I just put some little feet on the bottom of it. I think that looks rather cute. So it stands up lovely even though they did stand up before. Now on the front of this one, I'm just going to put this little chipboard key, and I'll use the wet glue for that. No, I won't. I'll try to use the hot glue. Pull the glue strands off. And I want a yeah, I'll put that on there. That looks alright. And I'm just going to put this little resin heart on. Got a bit of excess glue there. Okay, so that's my first one. My little altered domino, and it's got a couple of little legs, and I've decorated the front, and you just pull these open. At the sides. So there's that one. That's right, I'm finding it hard to do it with one hand. Okay, so there's the back one. And then you just open it up like a little book. How cute is that? And you could write a little message in there for someone. You could still decorate that side and have images on both sides. You could even paint in it. You could do like a little art journal spread. And there's the back. And then you just tie it up at the sides again. You could tie it in a bow, but I just preferred to do a loose knot. So there's that. And just tying it at the sides just keeps it together. Like, I know these altered ones have been around for quite a while, but this is the first time I've actually decided to make one. So there you have it. Altered domino. How cool is that? Lovely little gift. Now I'm just wondering if these ones are dry enough. They should be. Yep. So I'm just putting that together. Still got... So that's my little, the pink one. And folding that in. I'll tie this in a little bow, I think. And you could use anything for the ties. Like you could even use some twine or something like that. I'm being rather gentle because I don't think this is quite dry at the moment. And that one's got, I've tied it in little bows, but I think I prefer just tying it in, tying it just in like a loose knot. Yeah, I do. And I could actually cut a little bit off those. Now, what was the front? This one here's the front. On the front of this one, I have a couple of these little metal embellishments, and I'm going to use one for this one and also one for that, but I just don't know that one. I'm going to use this one on the front, and I am going to put a little bit of hot glue there, just so that I know it has got a sticky back, but I just want it to be really stuck firmly. And I'm also going to put a couple of these little resin beads or something, and I'm going to put a couple of those on the bottom for some feet. Excess glue again, goodness gracious. There. And glue strands. And there's the pink one. And its little feet on the bottom. So that's those two, and I've got one more to go. I'm just folding the book together and tying, and you could decorate it however you wanted. You could even paint something on the front of it, but at the moment I'm just choosing to glue something on there. Okay, so there's that one. Now I just want to make sure I've got the right end. So I'm just going to put a couple of feet on it, and by putting something on, like for a little stand, at least then you know, oh yep, there's the stand, so that's the bottom of it and that's the top. Okay, so I've got the little feet on, and on the front of this one I'm just going to put another one of those little embellishments. You could even use the inside of it to write positive thoughts for someone. Really anything. It's, you know, you're limited by your own imagination. And there we have that one on there. And it's a little bit crooked, but that's okay, I'll straighten it up. Right. Okay, and there's that one. So how cute are they? And they're very, very, very simple to make. I think the hardest part was for me is actually doing the measuring, and I don't have a scoreboard, so I measured all the lengths out that I needed and just done a manual fold. Now I'm trying to get this one undone. I tied it too tight. There we go. And there's that one. That is so cool. I just like these. They're so pretty. A little altered domino, and it stands up by itself too. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. You have a great day, and I hope you give these a try. They make gorgeous little gifts for someone. I think they do. So cute. Alright, I'll catch you later. You have a great day. Bye bye.